Welcome back to the O Show, everything crypto and NFTs every day. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the top crypto exchanges. Well, I don't know if it is a top exchange, but a lot of people use it. It is definitely a TikTok favorite. Are they going to collapse? What's going to happen? Well, the SEC is after them. And of course, we're going to have to give an update about the Ripple versus SEC case, because as most of you know, the SEC is absolutely unhinged, and they're asking for a $2 billion fine from Ripple, a $2 billion fine. And again, I want to remind you, the ST thing that happened with Mr. Jeffrey, his bank facilitated a bunch of transactions for that. And guess what he was charged with? Guess how much his fine was? $75 million. $75 million. That's what his fine was. And Ripple's getting a $2 billion fine for what? For absolutely what? So we're going to go ahead and talk about it because it's just absolutely ridiculous. The whole entire thing is crazy. Yeah, $2 billion. The SEC wants to fine Ripple $2 billion. I did a short video for you guys. I always do short videos for you guys at 3:30 p.m. PST. Some of them are very much worth checking out, like yesterday was. I broke down everything really, really quickly and why I think that it's wrong what they're doing. Today we're going to be covering quantum expeditions, talk about how you can essentially mine Bitcoin without the overhead cost. We'll talk about that later. But we're really just going to kind of cover what is going on with this insanity and what's happening in the US. And mark my words, we used to have all these crypto exchanges in America, all these crypto exchanges. And yeah, some of them were unethical and they were doing bad things behind the scenes. And all of us didn't know. Myself, I had no idea. But the problem with that is again, the SEC failed us. These public servants and these entities that are supposed to protect us, that are supposed to instill guidelines to tell us what we can and can't do, and also tell these companies what they can and can't do to keep their customers safe, failed to do so. So at what point are these public servants and these public agencies that are funded by our taxpayer dollars, what point are they going to be held accountable? Because the way I'm seeing it, they keep making terrible choices. They're literally going after companies that aren't doing anything wrong. Like the whole thing with the XRP case or with the Ripple case is that they were like, okay, you're selling unregistered securities and we're here to protect retail. But did the SEC actually protect retail? Because transactions on the secondary market were not deemed as securities. So let's say, for example, you decided to go on Coinbase or FMX or CoinCatch, or I don't know, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You could have gone on exchange 1, 2, 3, 4, and you bought XRP on the secondary market, bought through that exchange. That's not considered a security, and you're a retail investor. So if the SEC's job is to mainly protect retail investors, why are they trying to fine Ripple for $2 billion? If XRP was proven to not be a security on the secondary market. And in some institutional cases, yes, there were not proper disclosures done. Okay, fine. Those are institutional investors. They can take a lot more risk than we can. And why wasn't the fine just kind of minimized? That's what I want to know, because $2 billion, the math is not mathing. Binance paid $4.3 billion, and that's a problem. And now they're coming after KuCoin. So we're going to talk about that. And part of the issue with the KuCoin thing is that, I don't even think KuCoin's even operating here anymore, but they're going after them for things they did in the past, which again, you shouldn't be able to retroactively go after a lot of these crypto companies if you didn't put laws in place. It is. They are making a money grab. They're asking, and this is what they're doing. They're finding these companies so they could get billions and billions of dollars. Plus, they're getting taxpayer dollars to fund themselves. The SEC needs to be completely defunded. It needs to be completely removed from crypto because they're not doing anything positive for the crypto industry. And I would like to know, has the SEC protected you in any way, shape, or form? Because me personally, it hasn't. If anything, I've been hurt multiple times in this industry because of the SEC's lack of guidance. That's all. But I don't know. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's see what's going on. First and foremost, we got to talk about altcoins. Woo woo. Altcoins. Yay. Woo. Woo. All right. So there's a different altcoins over here. Beam, Aptos, WIF, Rune, IOTA, ICP. KSC, which is KuCoin's native token, is down 12.8%, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. AI, the FET token, the DEX token, DYDX, ORDI is down 5.9%. the market's not looking too terribly great, but let's take a look at Bitcoin and see what she's doing. Let's see what she's doing. Oh no, we're back below $70,000. What are we going to do? Well, right now, just taking a look at the daily, this candle is bearish. The reason being is very, very clear to see. You can see that buyers stepped in and they pushed price up to about $72,000. And now we're currently trading at 69,000. Okay. We are above this area of about 69.2, but I want to take a look at this chart. I like this one better. Yeah. Still important. Still pretty important over here that we're above this resistance area, or now it's support. But our EMAs are looking pretty nice. And even if we did get a pullback to the EMA 9 at about 67.2, or even down to the EMA 21 at 65.6, that would be okay. I would be okay with that. But we are looking pretty decent on the daily. Taking a look at the 4 hour, it is looking a little bit overextended. So we may get that drop back down to 67. So be a little bit cautious over here. Okay. Now, as far as the total cryptocurrency market by market cap over here, a little bit bearish candle, potentially reversal over here. You see how we had these swing wick highs and they just kept failing to close this area? Well, this is kind of what we're seeing now. So even if we get a pullback down to 2.22 trillion, we're fine. We're totally fine. Also, too, we are partnered with FEMX and CoinCatch on the show. If you would like to use any of the ref links, you need to understand that helps support me in the channel, goes to payroll. Also understand not your keys, not your coins. And in addition to that, you need to read terms of service. No leverage either. Okay. Okay. Also, we got to give a shout out to our members. Shout out to Mo, Servando, to Mr. Bonehead, to Mo again. Shout out to Optimist Clickbait. Thank you for being here. Only reason why I'm acknowledging you is because you've got a channel with over 100,000. Other than that, I wouldn't even acknowledge you in any way, shape, or form. Also, too, to Mo. And then we always say hi to Gamer. Always say hi to Gamer. All right, let's go ahead and talk about what's going on. Let's get into the news over here. Okay, so this is straight from Miss Ellie, and this just came out today. Crypto exchange KuCoin and 2 founders criminally charged with Bank Secrecy Act and unlicensed money transmission offenses by the Justice Department, by the DOJ. So let's talk about what this means, because there's a lot to unpack here. They could potentially collapse with this news. Now, why am I saying that? Well, if we looked at other exchanges that have been heavily fined or gone after, like Bittrex and their U.S. department completely shut down. But with KuCoin is not a U.S.-based company. They are a foreign-based company. I believe they're out in Asia. But depending on how much they are fined for their practices, for the things that they were doing, that could cause a collapse. Because let's say they're fine, like look at Binance. Binance was fined $4.3 billion. If a smaller exchange like KuCoin was fined that much, do you think that they would be able to sustain? Honestly, think about it. I'm going to head over to, I should have done this earlier, but of course not. I'm going to head over to CoinMarketCap, because I want to show y'all something really quick. So this is CoinMarketCap, and we're taking a look at the spot exchanges. Okay, so Binance their trading volume in 24 hours looks like it is about, what is this? 1, 2, 3. This is about $28 billion in 24 hours. It's very significant, and it was one of the no thank you on lunch. Anyways, Binance has got like $28 billion in trading volume in 24 hours. KuCoin is $2 billion. Could you imagine if they were fined $4.3 billion like Binance? And again, I'm not saying that they're going to be. I'm simply saying if that happens, do you think they're still going to be able to operate? I don't know if KuCoin is halting trades, but if you're using KuCoin, you should probably get your coins off. You should never have your coins on any exchange. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at some of our notes here, because we got some important things that we have to divulge with this conversation. So KuCoin and the 2 founders are criminally charged with Bank Secrecy Act and unlicensed money transmission offenses by the Justice Department, the DOJ. So it includes violating AML, anti-money laundering. I know KuCoin was a great exchange. It was a great exchange. People loved it. Neither of the founders have been arrested, but basically by skirting AML policies, the DOJ alleged KuCoin was able to transmit more than $4 billion of suspicious and criminal funds and receive $5 billion from operating in the shadows of the financial markets. It's always in the shadows. Okay. Always in the shadows. KuCoin attempted to conceal the existence of KuCoin's U.S. customers in order to make it appear as if KuCoin was exempt from US AML and KYC requirements. I'm going to come back to this in a minute, okay? U.S. customers were allegedly prevented from identifying when they opened accounts. Until July 2023, KuCoin did not require customers to provide any identifying information. It was only in July 2023, after KuCoin was notified of a federal criminal investigations into its activities, that KuCoin adopted the KYC program for the new customers. So let's go ahead and break this down, because there's a couple interesting things here. First and foremost, they are alleging that KuCoin attempted to conceal the existence of KuCoin's U.S. customers in order to make it appear as if KuCoin was exempt from these laws, from AML and KYC. So that could have very well been something that they did. 100%, because when you log into Exchange, it knows your IP, it knows where you are. So they could have 100% been doing that. So did they break the law here? Possibly. This is looking like likely they did, because they were able to identify IP addresses. But now if we talk about this point over here, it was only in July 2023, after KuCoin was notified of federal criminal investigations into its activities, that KuCoin adopted a KYC program for new customers. So, in certain areas, you don't necessarily have to do KYC, from my understanding. I could be wrong in certain countries. But if KuCoin is not an American-based company and they're operating in the U.S. and they didn't start adopting American procedures until they were told they needed to, then that might be their out. But at the same time, if there was already laws in place indicating that people needed to KYC and do the AML thing, then yeah. So that's where it becomes a little bit confusing over here. And again, the United States of America has failed to give laws and regulations, which made no sense. I was in this industry since end of 2017. And I remember right after, like 6 months after I got in the industry, there was all these house meetings and all these meetings between all the public servants, and they couldn't figure out cryptocurrency laws. So again, this is where it gets problematic. If we had laws in place, things like this would not happen. They wouldn't. Any way, shape, or form. So that's my take on that. And I actually forgot to do something really quick. This is super, super important. I totally forgot to do it. Oh my gosh, this is not good. Hold on a second. Sorry. Hold on. I missed something over here. Sorry. Okay, hold on. Darn it. One of my links is not working. It is not working. Hold on a second. All right, I found it. Okay, now let's get back into our next story. I apologize. There's always so much going on, always so much going on. But anyways, we've got 600 people here, about 650. We've got about 80 of you on TikTok, almost 100. And I'm just happy to be here. Thank you guys for being here. And also, too, shout out to Gamer. KuCoin already kicked out of the U.S. people, and also this won't hurt as much. Well, we don't know. We do not know. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about our next story, because there's more information coming. More. Let's go ahead and talk about some Bitcoin news. And I know this is a little bit boring, but we have to talk about it, because mark my freaking words. We're only going to have the option to purchase crypto through these ETFs or through TradFi. So stick with me here, because we are going to cover the Ripple story. Okay, so let's get into this one over here. So Bitcoin ETFs see first green day after losing nearly 1 billion last week. So apparently, after a straight week of outflows for the ETFs, the funds took in 228.97 Bitcoin yesterday. First time the net flow has been positive for ETFs since March 15th. During a price dump last week, ETFs saw outflows of nearly $1 billion. $1 billion. Why is this important? Well, it makes sense, because if we go back and we do look at the chart, give me a minute. If we go back and we look at the chart, we had some bearishness last week. We had some bearishness actually the last few weeks. So this kind of aligns with the ETFs. And that's something you want to put in your trading and investing journal. Now let's go ahead and talk about this story. So, and this is Morgan Stanley. We got another big player. Another big player coming in. Several sources confirming that Morgan Stanley is set to approve the Bitcoin ETFs on their platform in the next 2 weeks. Sources are from Inside MS and Inside Bitcoin ETF firms and legal insiders adjacent to both. Morgan Stanley holds more than 1.5 trillion in client assets. So we are seeing another massive player come into the market. Now, Franklin Templeton. They are debuting a new crypto SMA amid Bitcoin ETF hype. New separately managed account is set to hold Bitcoin and Ethereum and be available for wealth managers on Eagle Brook Advisors platform. This is interesting because they are saying Bitcoin and Ethereum. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum hasn't been ruled as a security yet, and we don't know if we're going to get an Ethereum approval for the Ethereum Spot ETF. So let's talk about this one over here. Franklin Templeton, they want to build out another segment of crypto products. They have 1 trillion assets under management. They launched a Franklin Templeton Digital Asset Dynamic, which is separately managed account, the SMA. And SMAs offer a nuisance approach to investing, allowing investors customization in terms of asset diversification and tax optimization strategies. And this is why I've told you to grift ethically within the constraints of the law. These types of traditional products are something you want to take a look at. You take a look, you research, and then you go to your local advisor, somebody that you've hired, somebody that you trust, your CPA, your wealth planner, whatever that is, and you talk to them about how you can lower your tax rate by complying within the laws and investing in products like this. And again, gmgm, their link is down below. They are licensed financial advisors. I send people all the time. I get so many inbound emails. Wendy, what do I invest in? I send them to Mr. Brian over there. And I say, you talk to him because he's licensed and registered to be a financial advisor. But anyways, for crypto SMAs, other investors exposure to a range of exposures that go beyond Bitcoin. Currently, the only crypto asset under the US ETFs can hold directly and available for registered investment advisors, RIAs, and other wealth managers. So again, if you're poor, you cannot invest in this. Super fun, right? Super fun. Now, the London Stock Exchange will start market for Bitcoin and Ethereum ETNs May 28. So if you're in London, this one is for you. Let's read this one over here, okay? So basically, they're going to be available for professional investors only. Professional investors only. Well, let's talk about that. So all of these traditional financial firms, what they're doing is because you were not born rich, is because you don't have wealth today. They're basically saying that you're not allowed to participate. And it's unfortunate. You see what they're doing, but who cares, right? It is what it is, and we have to deal with it. But anyways, I digress. We got 700 people watching. Thank you guys so much. Gamer said, I've been hearing that Near is decent way to get exposed to layer ones and the AI narrative. We're going to talk about Near, so be patient with me because we have a lot of different things that we got to cover, but we're going to talk about Near. And also too, you guys smash the like. We got 700 watching, only 167 likes. We got 100 on TikTok, so smash the like. It is prejudice that you can't invest. They're prejudiced against poor people. That sucks. All right. Now, apparently, we got some news over here. Okay. So the fifth richest Bitcoin addresses transfers 94,500 Bitcoin, which is $6 billion to 3 new addresses. Why is this? I have no idea. Why would they do that? Maybe they want to diversify their wallets. Who knows? Or maybe they're getting ready to take profit. And that's going to be food for thought too. Again, this is something for your fundamental analysis. Now let's talk a little bit about Grayscale. So Grayscale executives see a path to Ethereum ETF approval despite SEC's silence. And again, I'm very much invested in Ethereum and I want to see the Spot ETF because I can't wait to dump it. So let's talk about it. Their CLO, Craig Salam, is confident in Spot Ethereum ETF approval despite SEC's lack of engagement. He highlights resolved issues from Spot Bitcoin ETF approval applicable to Ethereum. Salam echoes Coinbase stance on the need for a Spot ETF. Despite delays and skepticism, he remains optimistic about approval, but SEC's investigation into Ethereum's regulatory classification adds uncertainty. So again, let's break this down really quick, and then we're going to cover ETH. So we have Ethereum futures. ETFs that are available, and those are a lot more volatile because basically what you're doing is you're anticipating numbers going to do X, Y, and Z by a certain date. Okay, that's what that is what they are, and they're a lot risky, very, very, very risky. Now, why is that a problem? Well, they're creating products that are supposed to be safe for investors. So why wouldn't you approve a product that is more safer for investors at a spot that there's not a lot of volatility there, like, right? Or no, maybe that's options, whatever. They're more risky though. My mind is like in 300,000 places right now, but let's get back to it. Calm down, Lenny. Anyways, futures are more risky than spot. But again, Ethereum has not been classified. Gary Gensler does not want to classify it. Is there ETHgate? 100%. Is there issues in the entire industry? Yes. But at the same time, how can you approve an Ethereum futures ETF, but not an Ethereum spot ETF? And I really think that we're going to see, once we get a brand new administration, then we'll actually get some clarity. We're just going to see a bunch of really ridiculous lawsuits at this point. But again, I'm grifting. Because I don't want, I think that all these products are predatory, but at the same time, I'm here to grift and make as much money as possible, So really quickly, let's take a look at Ethereum over here. Ethereum is actually doing okay. If you take a look at the weekly on the daily, we had a nice rebound from about 3,400. Taking a look at the daily here, at our daily, we're okay. We're balancing fairly nicely on the EMA. So hopefully we get that bull cross completed on the MACD, market cipher printed the green dot, and we get back upwards to about the $4,000 range. That would be amazing. But the 4 hour looks like we want to head down. So maybe we do something like this where we go, whoopsie. Maybe we do something like this. I would love that. But again, be cautious because if we do break below the EMA 200, it could get a little bit bearish at about $3,400. Now, let's take a look at Solana. Ooh, what's going on with her? And yes, we're going to get in XRP. So hold on, stay tight because it is actually, what they did was they literally pulled tweets. Mean tweets. And there were, SEC was offended about that, I think. So anyways, let's talk about Solana though. Solana takes the lead in weekly stablecoin transfer volume. Interesting. That means people are taking profits. So I'm proud of you guys. So Solana flipped Ethereum to become the #1 blockchain in weekly stablecoin transfer volume. Solana's weekly transfer volume for stables reached 364.7 billion. Ethereum reported 153 billion. Tron and BNB saw volumes of 101.57 billion and 22.75 billion respectively. Solana currently accounts for 42.3% of stablecoin market share. So yay. So this is very interesting. Very excited about it. The fact that Tron is still doing anything, the only reason why people use Tron is because the transactions are so freaking cheap. So cheap. But it's interesting. And again, this makes sense that Ethereum pioneered a lot of things, but it's just too darn expensive. Unless layer 2s can be super like easy to use without having to bridge and swap and this and that and whatever, and you could just use it, Solana is probably going to take the lead. However, when we're talking about Solana does have a lot of problems. Like when you do anything like to trade on Radium, there's a lot of problems, which is one of the dexes, very similar to Jupiter. But I think Radium's been around longer. I can't remember. My mind is in 9 million places. But sometimes the transactions just don't go through. And I'm hearing people say that because the transactions aren't going through, they're still getting a little bit of a charge. And by the time they get the transaction to go through, they've paid as much as they would have on ETH with gas. So who knows? But again, this is good that we're seeing stable coins because that means people are hopefully taking profit. People are engaged in the ecosystem. And in addition to that, they are also using DeFi. Now let's go and talk about Solana. Take a look at her. Oh, we're correcting a bit on the 4 hour, which is good. So let's bring it down a little bit more to 181 to about 174 and then move on up. Give it to yourself raw today. I'm not in the mood. So shout out to Solana. Now let's talk about this. Binance will open spot trading for Bonk USDC, Floki USDC, FTM, Maker. What the heck is Try? Render? I don't know. Shout out to Floki though. Shout out to Floki, but apparently Binance is opening spot trading for Bonk, Floki, FTM, Maker. And again, like FTM did nothing in the bear market, and now that Andrew's back, it's starting to do well again. Who knows? I don't know. But shout out to them. But apparently showing higher trading volumes for these coins on the Binance exchange. So if you're using Binance, good for you. Again, you got to read those terms, those pesky terms of services, all that stuff. It is a great clickbait. I love clickbait. It makes me so happy. This is the funny thing, though. When we talk about clickbait, most people don't understand that clickbait, you've grown up your whole entire life with clickbait. Mainstream media news, the shows you watch, all of it. All of it. Even when you're verbally communicating with people like, oh my God, did you hear what so-and-so said about Peter? Oh my God. That's clickbait. But it's true though. KuCoin can collapse. It 100% can collapse depending on what the fine is that they're going to have to pay. And if you don't think that that is a reality, you should consider that. In addition to that, if you've got funds on KuCoin, you probably should remove them. You should never keep, only time you should keep crypto on exchanges is in fact, if you understand the risks or you're actively trading and you understand the risks. But crypto exchanges are to buy and then move it to a wallet, cold storage, and then go on DEXs or do what you have to do. Back in my day in 2017, we didn't have those. We didn't have as many DEXs as we had. We had like iDEX and like a couple other really janky ones. I think like TradeOrg or DEX? I can't remember anymore. Anyway, so smash a like and share this, but it's really true. Now let's go and talk about Near Protocol because this is a really weird story. I'm going to tell you all, if any of you touch me while I'm on stage, I will throw something at you. All right, so this is from Near Protocol, and this is a real tweet, a real frickin' tweet. Last week, Near co-founder, I guess, Lila, I don't know, I can't pronounce it, apologizing, was touched on the arm by Jensen Huang, founder of NVIDIA. They were joined on stage by the other co-authors of Attention is All You Need. Learn about that touch and the intersection of AI and blockchain. This sounds so freaking weird. Like, what is this? What is this? Who talks like this? But this is a real tweet from Near. Look at Near Protocol. They're a verified organization. You could click on that over here. Look at verified account. Dear Near, whoever is on your marketing team, you did a great job to get people to talk about you, but is this the type of conversation you want to have? Really? Whatever. I don't care. I think it's ridiculous. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Near because I got to see this price action. Did they pump? Did they pump? No, they're dropping. Everything is dropping right now. It's a little bit bearish. So Near maybe like $7, which is fine. But it's not bearish because of this story. It's just the story is ridiculous. So I wanted to show you. So this is the chart over here. And again, you guys can trade these on Femex and you guys can trade these on Femex or on CoinCatch, the partners of the show. Their links are in the description. Thank you so much for supporting me. Not your keys, not your coins. Read the terms of services, yourmom.com. Now let's talk about XRP. This is important. And I had put out videos yesterday explaining why this was important. Why it was important. Raider, they just needed you on stage. They needed you on stage. Also, to you guys, I really don't want to talk about the Diddy thing at all. I have my thoughts about it. I just don't want to talk about it. Shout out to John. But yeah, but Raider, they needed you on stage with them. They're missing you. They told me. I don't want to talk about that whole thing, please, because I'm going to go off on a tangent and people are not going to like what I have to say about it. The truth hurts. Anyways, let's talk about XRP. And shout out to the XRP community. Let's get into it, baby. Let's get into it. So, the SEC's $1.95 billion fine and final judgment against Ripple. Ripple executives reveal that the SEC is requesting approximately $2 billion in fines against Ripple Labs for its institutional sales of XRP. The funniest thing in the world about this is the SEC. We want to protect retail. But they want to fine Ripple Labs almost $2 billion for institutional sales, not retail sales. 1 + 1 does not equal 2 here. It basically says we're an incompetent industry. We don't want to do our jobs. We need money because we're in trouble with Congress. So we're going to fine you. We're going to fine you. Fine them for the institutional sales, but it doesn't, $2 billion for what? How much did you fine JE? How much did you fine I'm sorry, Bank of America or JP Morgan? I'm sorry, I'm so pissed right now because we literally have all of these illicit transactions happening by these elites and all these terrible people, but they get a slap on the wrist and to go. But you have a company that is trying to operate in a brand new industry with zero guidelines, with some of the best attorneys in the United States of America, and they're getting fined $2 billion for what? For what? For institutional sales? But I thought you were here to protect retail. Make your minds up. Because that's exactly what's happening. And if you don't have, like, this is the thing. I don't support any fines unless there is legitimate wrongdoing. If there's fines, make them fair fines. But what's going to end up happening is if this fine gets approved and they do have to pay it, this is going to set precedent in the entire industry. And your other favorite coins that are not securities on the secondary market could face this types of fines. Case law sucks sometimes. Anyways. Proposed fine includes $876 million in disgorgement, $198 in prejudgment interest, and $876 in civil penalty. The court filing was unsealed today, and Garlinghouse promised to expose the SEC in response. And good, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. And you know what the unfortunate thing about this is? We are seeing a company that tried to comply, and XRP is a banker coin. It is a banker coin. And these guys have so many partnerships with so many different banking entities on a global scale. Like, they're centralized. They're a banker coin. Like, they have to comply. And I feel like they probably do a better job with compliance than a lot of other companies. So the fact that they are getting smacked around by the SEC, but there's so many other unscrupulous behavior happening in this industry that the SEC won't touch, is ridiculous to me. It's absolutely ridiculous. And again, you should be pissed because this is going to impact your other altcoins. Like, what is happening in the world? What is happening in the world? It's ridiculous. Now, let's talk about this. Gensler's SEC has become unhinged. This will not and should not go unnoticed in election year. The SEC single-handedly thinks it's above the law, dragging U.S. further behind the G20 countries. And again, Garlinghouse and Larson are right. Both of them are right. And the reason why this is problematic is because the amount of money the SEC has wasted of taxpayer dollars is probably absurd on this case. I think Ripple, they pay $200 million or $300 million, something crazy, something super, super crazy. So that's another problem. And how much do you think the SEC paid using taxpayer dollars? Because anytime the government does anything, the cost to do business is always increased. It's not $2 billion. It's kind of a settlement, but it's not. It's an absurd settlement. And also too, like and this is taxpayer dollars. This is taxpayer dollars. Okay, thank you. $200 million for Ripple. That's what I thought. I thought it was between 200 and 300 million. But what's 100 million between friends, right? So the fact that, and again, it's just, the whole thing is effed up. It really, really is. And you should be pissed. Now, we're going to cover this really quick because it's freaking funny. And this is from Mr. Meta Lawman, awesome guy. Funniest part of the SEC's damages in brief, Ripple, has to be the 29 pages of tweets that hurt their feelings after Judge Torres issued her summary judgment ruling. Check to see whether your tweet was included in the file. They're stated in Exhibit S6. All right, so apparently this is real. Go to Meta Lawman's thing, but the SEC is upset because people are using their First Amendment right to publicly speak out against the SEC's predatory actions and the things that are made that they're not happy about. And guess what? That's okay. That's why we have constitutional rights. And if we're not happy about what somebody is doing, it's okay for us to express it. I don't agree with a lot of things, and it should be okay and legal for me to express it. And I should not be gagged, at least in that fashion. I want to be able to speak freely on the internet, and you guys should be able to too. But it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Anyways, I have to give a shout out over here. We are going to be investing in Sugar Kingdom Odyssey over here. Basically, it is a gaming platform for BRC20 tokens and altcoins. You can stake the native token, SKO, and essentially get other weekly airdrops of low cap tokens. So that's cool to me. And apparently they're going to be launching on the 2nd of April. And you can go ahead and participate if you like. Highly recommend that you follow them if this is something you're interested in. And again, I've told you guys, we are very much interested in all things BRC20. And the fact that if we get weekly airdrops of other low cap tokens for staking, Cool with me. And again, anytime you want to stake, you want to do a like a moon bag. That's important. So again, if you're interested in this, go ahead and follow them. If you're not, that's fine too. Ooh, their suspicious site. Ooh. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into our next story over here. Let me go here. Let me go here. Let me go here. Let me go here. Now, where was I? Oh, here. This is another interesting story. So smack to the SEC. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the alert set and you like this video. So today, DEF, Beba Collection, sued the SEC. I don't know who these people are. I think that they got a lot of, it's Beba over here. Yeah, it's a super small company. I don't know what it is. But anyways, let's read this. So apparently, DEF and Beba Collection sued the SEC. The crypto industry is facing an existential threat from overzealous regulator who is abusing its power by targeting our industry through aggressive enforcement actions. It's time for the court to put an end of it. So let's go ahead and read the summary here. And this is good. Very, very good. So really quickly, the DeFi Education Fund, we do policy and advocating work to help DeFi flourish, looking to donate. Good for them. And then Beba is handcrafted in Kenya for the purpose of driven everyday adventures. Okay, let's talk about this a little bit more. So, lawsuit aims to safeguard similar airdrops from the SEC's prosecution and accuses the SEC of administration procedures as Act APA violation. Crypto industry shifting to proactive legal strategy against the SEC, departing from previous defensive approach. Recent lawsuits include Coinbase and Anderson Horowitz suing the SEC over jurisdiction. DEF argues that airdrops like Beba's are outside the SEC's jurisdiction as they involve no investment in money. Legal expert sees DEF's case on airdrops as solid, but SEC's APA violation claims might face challenges. Ooh. So let's go ahead and take a look at Beba. So basically, it was a mint. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, so it's handcrafted in Kenya. Okay. Stage 3 of Beba Mint going live. This is your last chance to get exclusive Beba art with real world utility and rare NFTs. Enter in Beba backpack. Enter into. Okay. So it looks like they have a free mint. Stage 1 of Beba free mint has completely minted out. So why are people upset about? Why is the SEC mad about this? It's a free mint. And that just tells you the SEC wants to force you to stop you from doing anything with your own money. And you should be pissed. So we're going to be following the story over here, mixing any updates. We got to get on it because again, I'm happy that they're getting hit up. All right. Now, Coinbase's coin reaches November 2021 highs as Bitcoin reclaims 70,000 level. Okay. So with Bitcoin hitting 70,000, Coinbase's coin shares trading at $279.65. It was the highest value since peak in the last bull run. Over the past month, coin is up 44% and saw increases of 346% over the past year. Coin probably is something, if I don't trade in traditional assets, but I think that coin was something that I should have bought in the bear market. So I'm really, really ridiculous for not doing it. And I wish I would have, but I didn't. So I'm a dummy. This is coin. And look at, this was the opportunity to buy over here at $40 and I didn't. I screwed myself. Coin will probably eventually go into price discovery. I don't think it's going to stop. And maybe I'll buy some somewhere. I don't know. Gamer, what should we do? Should I buy some? All right, let's get into this story. New Coinbase Bitcoin reserves hit a 9-year low. So basically what this means is that the available Bitcoin to purchase on Coinbase is very low because a lot of people are buying up, holding, either trading it or transferring it to self-custody. Cool. Scarcity is important. Number goes up. Now, Bitcoin Magazine. Just in, MicroStrategy has now surpassed eBay to become the 280th largest company in the US. Grifter's gonna grift, baby. Happy for you. Good for you. All right, this is a press release. A federal board releases annual audited financial statements. Ooh, let's see. So the federal's audit reveals that the Fed operating expenses were $9.2 billion. The Federal Reserve spent $9.2 billion to operate. The Federal Reserve spent $9.2 billion to operate. $9.2 billion of your money. Can we get like a transparent report? No. Yeah, so this is the thing. This is a press release, and it says, it just says what it is. It just says, it breaks down some of the costs, not all of it. You should be pissed, though. Okay. Federal financial statements on the board. The 12 Federal Reserves and 3 LLCs are on the board's website. Let's see. All right, let's go over here. All right, so they do have everything broken down, as you can see over here, but it's a lot of information to go through. I wish somebody would audit this. But, you know, it is what it is. Shout out to the Federal Reserve. Inflation is transitory, but the cost of goods and services are not. Now, let's get into this. Trump media soars 58% the first day of trading after SPAC merger. True Social will go public next week via merger with Digital World Acquisition Corp. Approval adds billions to Trump's net worth with restrictions on share sales for at least 6 months. DWAC sued former CEO to secure shareholder approval for merger. Trump Media and Technology Group reported 49 million net losses on 3.38 million revenue for the first 9 months in 2023. TMTG to replace DWAC on NASDAQ with board, including Donald Trump Jr. and former White House members. Uncertainty around market demand and potential impact if Trump decides to sell shares. Good for him. Good for him. At this point, I don't care what people do anymore. Just let me and my people trade all the meme coins we want to trade. But anyways, you guys, we are going to get going because I got some work to do. Thank you guys for being with me. We've got almost 800 people in here. I know that GIF. So thank you guys all for being here. Yes, the title is clickbait. If we don't do clickbait, YouTube will not push the videos. So we have to push the videos. But again, I clarify in the beginning if it's why it's clickbait. Hello. And yes, KuCoin can actually collapse if they get fined billions of dollars. So we'll see. But anyway, sending everybody love and light. I got to do some house cleaning here. But I'll see you guys. Got a video for you, 3:30 p.m. PST. Shout out to TikTok. Shout out to YouTube. Make sure you're liking, commenting, subscribing, alert set, and following me on the Tiki Tacky. Bye-bye. Bye, babies.